Hello everyone, my name is Taufan Febri Herdian. I'm a student from Bandung Institute Teknologi, School of Business Management. Today I will be presenting my midterm exam analysis for the course Economics and Business Landscape Analysis. I will focusing on the cost benefit analysis of rooftop solar PV in the context of microeconomics and energy sustainability. Okay, I will go to the next slide for the introduction. So for the background, we start from the Indonesia's electricity supply business plan 2024 and 20 until 2034. The targets a substantial increase in renewable energy with 85 of renewable energy installation in 2023, and rooftop solar have playing a key role. However, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources Regulation Number 2, 2024, the policy has shifted by eliminating net metering and introducing quotas, which has changed the economical clues for the household solar adoption. This presentation evaluates whether rooftop solar still makes sense from households' macroeconomic perspective and how it contributes to broader sustainability goals. So for the highlight, the renewable mix plan in the RUPTL meets the national RUKN target from the 2024 to 2030. These elements show good consistency between PLN's planning and national energy policy. From 2031 onward, the RUPTL target exceeds the national energy mix target, showing a proactive and progressive approach by PLN toward achieving net zero target earlier. So we can see here in the 2034, the target for the energy mix in the RUPTL is 24.3%. This is exceed the target from the RUKN just for the 29%. This target is including the risk in the solar PV around 70.1. This is also for the solar rooftop PV has a target in 3 gigawatt. Next. So for the global development and trends, we can see the 2023 saw a record-breaking 87% growth in renewable capacity led by solar. Out of 470 gigawatt added, 73% came from the solar PV. This primarily driven by China, India, and Brazil, while Southeast Asia experienced a post-pandemic slowdown. Countries like Indonesia are regaining momentum through tenders and support program. But we can see the Vietnam here is leading the adding capacity of solar energy. So that global trend suggests that solar energy is no longer an alternative, is becoming the backbone of future energy system. So for the solar rooftop penetration in Indonesia now have a capacity more than 700 megawatt. It is significant increasing from the 2020, just only have 170 megawatt. There is significant increase in this was partly driven by the growth in rooftop solar power plant capacity. So it has correlation about this increase with the government regulation, particularly in regulation from the Minister of Energy and Mineral Resource from 2080 until 2024. The trend of annual increase in rooftop capacity is based on the enhanced correlation with that regulation. So for the resident sector, we can see here before the 2021, the capacity is increased, but after that, this is the decline after the implementation of the capacity restriction, especially in the regulation 2024. So for the first literature review, this is the journal from the Tarikan that said that study the unit cost of PV electricity for different discount rate. This is through simulation and study found that the cost of electricity rooftop solar in Indonesia under current condition range 0.094 until 0.124 USD per kilowatt hour. This levelized cost range is close to parity with the household electricity tariff from PLN is around 0.10 per kilowatt hour or about 1,500 per kilowatt hour. And this study in 2023 assumed a lifetime of 20 years and annual operation OM cost of 2% of the investment and the capacity factor of around 16%. With these parameters, the study conclude that the rooftop solar PV has the potential to be economical for residential consumer under the condition that net metering incentives still apply. So for the second literature review is talk about the payback period and solar generation share for several rooftop solar customer. It can see that the installed capacity of solar power plant up to 100 the installed power, the payback period increased dramatically from the household sector or residential, when the industrial sector remains relatively stable. So this is the 100% installed capacity. The payback period is more than 20 years. This graph indicated that very importance of proper sizing to avoid the energy loss. So for the third literature review is talk about the comparison internal rate return using EV battery repurposing for behind the meter battery energy storage. This figure show that the internal rate return comparison between using base at market price with use EV batteries. As a result, the IRR for base with EV battery is higher in all segments, confirming that EV batteries is an economic and strategic solution to support rooftop PV adoption without export expensive. The development of rooftop PV in Indonesia without incentive rooftop PV is difficult to compete because PLN electricity tariff is relatively cheap because it is subsidized by the government. So this is the study case for the cost benefit analysis of rooftop of household that use assumption for the production is 4,000 kilowatt hour per year. That need investment cost is 40.5 billion EDR. The solar capacity is 3 kilowatt peak with the assumption lifetime is 25 years with the electricity tariff from PLN is 1,447 kilowatt hour. So we simulate the cost benefit with using the saving electricity from usage from PLN. So after the simulation, the result is the payback period more than 20 years. The internal rate return is more than 12%. The NPV is positive. So we can conclude that with this capacity 3 kilowatt peak with the production is 4,000, it can saving electricity from usage from PLN that the all study the result is positive, but it have not because the payback period is still more than 20 years. This is the impact on microeconomic and sustainability. First is the household electricity cost reduction. The rooftop PV installation can reducing electricity bill and saving can be redirected to productive consumption. The industrial opportunities and local job creation. So the study is the journal said that massive investment in rooftop solar system can create job opportunity in the clean energy sector. Referring to the government rooftop target, it could create more than 100,000 jobs. The third is change in electricity consumption behavior. A study by the University of Chicago found prosumer reduce weekly electricity consumption by 9.8% with notable load shifting to the elite hours. The fourth is energy access equity and social justice. Some projects like by the government have enabled solar access over 3,000 households in 22 remote villages. This is generating local revenue and supporting village-owned enterprise operation. And the last is the impact on PLN and consumer tariff. This is regulation 2024 that may distort tariff structure and create cross-subsidy risk, but the new regulation address this through the removal of net metering and quota limitation to ensure PLN system stability. So for the last, the conclusion and the recommendation. The conclusion is the cost-benefit analysis for the 3 kilowatt peak capacity with the investment cost 40,000.5 million for household is feasible without a net metering scheme for surplus power during the day. The benefit is obtained are saving on the use of pelleted electricity. However, there are several considerations to note, that particularly the sensitivity of the required investment value and the length payback period exceed 20 years. The regulation number 2, 2024 of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources is deemed to eliminate the primary incentive, which previously served as a key factor in the making investment financial feasible. Before new regulation, according to the research, 2 kilowatt peak investment in Java Valley region still had a payback period of around 6 years. But this is with note the net metering and plus 30% of intensive. The addition of battery does increase the proportion of solar energy ini by 90%, but from an economic perspective is even less attractive using battery because battery prices are still high. And their lifespan is limited, requiring replace maybe around 8 until 9 years. So for the recommendation, the solar energy export incentive, we need to refund. The government should consider implementing a net billing scheme or special tariff for surplus rooftop solar power. The second is subsidies for the procurement battery energy storage system, because the price now is relative still high. The third is optimizing the quota mechanism. The government is urged to consistently conduct outreach of unregistered procedure, licensing process, and remaining quota allocation, ensuring this process and user-friendly and can be monitored in real time by prospective user. The fourth is promote community solar power plant and virtual net metering. The government could introduce the regulation allowing community solar power plant or virtual net metering. And next, the gradual adjustment of PLN electricity tariff. Adjustment to electricity tariff can improve the economic viability of rooftop PV system and battery and accelerate the payback period. So next, the recommendation is the public education and socialization, that the government need to consistent educate and socialize that explain the long-term benefit of solar PV. And the last, the pilot project, make a pilot project of the PV solar and battery for community. If this is working, the result can be used in the large wide of user and social evaluation. If the results are positive, that program can be expanded. So thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.